This week at the National Assembly, the rival parties are set for a heads-on clash over the amendment to the Gov't Organization Act. The ruling party plans to pass it on Thursday, while the opposition intends to respond with a filibuster. For more, we turn to our political correspondent, Shin Ha-young. Welcome back, Ha-young.
Great to be here.
So, Ha-young, how far has the amendment progressed at the National Assembly ahead of the big day, Thursday's plenary session?
Well, the amendment to the Gov't Organization Act, which includes the abolishing the Prosecutors Office, as well as splitting the Finance Ministry, has passed a related standing committee at the National Assembly. The ruling Democratic Party on Monday pushed the vote through the Public Administration and Security Committee, while the main opposition People Power Party walked out. And the DP said the bill is well prepared after more than a month of discussions in the State Affairs Planning Committee. The PPP, however, argued that no bill should be passed just 10 days after being proposed without even a hearing. Take a listen.
Before worrying about the government reorganization plan, the People Power Party should worry about reorganizing itself first.
How far will this legislative dictatorship go? Trying to finish everything by noon again, right? Isn't this just rushing toward the goal without thinking?
And under the plan, the Prosecutors Office will be dismantled and replaced by two new agencies, one under the Justice Ministry handling indictments and another under the Interior Ministry handling investigations. And the PPP criticized the plan, calling it reckless to abolish the Prosecutors Office without a plan for the remaining staff. And regarding concerns about potential delays in investigations, the Interior Ministry said that separating investigations and indictments will clarify responsibility and make work more accountable.
Like I mentioned earlier, the opposition is not too fond of it. Now, the question is what steps will the ruling party plan to take next?
Well, despite the opposition backlash, the amendment is expected to clear the Judiciary Committee on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, and head to a vote in a plenary session on Thursday, with the DP standing firm on its plan to pass it.
We pushed reforms quickly through the Lee Jae-myung administration's one-team approach and open debate. The next step is to pass the government reorganization plan to stabilize the cabinet and sustain momentum in state affairs.
And in response, the PPP decided today to launch a filibuster on the revision to the Gov't Organization Act and on every other bill that comes up during Thursday's session. And the PPP floor leader told party lawmakers to adjust their schedules for a possible filibuster, adding that all overseas activities are banned from now on. And the DP had initially planned to handle 69 non-controversial bills as well on Thursday, but is now considering taking up only 4, including the Gov't Act amendment. And apart from the filibuster, the PPP is expected to hold a second round of street rallies this weekend. And last weekend, the party held its first street protest in nearly 6 years, staging a large rally to protest what it described as opposition crackdowns and authoritarian politics under President Lee and the ruling party. Take a listen.
Dictatorship must never return to Korea. I ask everyone to stand together to stop any authoritarian ideas.
Then, Ha-young, what's next for the National Assembly? I mean, what lies ahead in the political standoff between the rival parties?
Well, with the regular session still underway, more contentious issues are expected in the weeks ahead. And in fact, the National Assembly's audit of government ministries and agencies is scheduled to begin on October 13th, with the lawmakers reviewing performance across policy, spending, administration, and public impact. And lawmakers will also need to tackle the 2026 budget and other key reform bills, but sharp bipartisan divisions remain even before these issues arise. And in fact, the launch of a joint consultative body on livelihood-related matters composed of both parties has been set back due to the ruling party's push for the government reorganization plan. And although the rival parties initially agreed to establish the body and hold its first meeting last Friday, the PPP announced that the launch has now been postponed. And with this setback and other key developments, attention will remain on the upcoming events as the regular session unfolds.
Well, let's see how things unfold on Thursday, the plenary session. Thank you, Ha-young, for the wrap-up.
My pleasure.